Well, hello once again. Kevin Kyler with Environmental Inspection Dynamics. In today's presentation, we're going to talk about HVAC and the aspects of interior air. This one might be a little bit longer, but please watch because I think there's a lot of valuable information in here that may help you. So let's move on. Okay, HVAC simply means heating, ventilation, air conditioning. 90% of residential homes have HVAC. Along with this is the importance of the other aspects of interior air and its movements, and we shall see those. HVAC systems must, number one, be balanced throughout the home. Number two, leakage of the working system held up to 97% of its efficiency. It's like saying keep that down to a 3% loss. You get it. HVAC systems in use today. This is the first one is the old 70% AFUE unit. I believe AFUE stands for Annual Fuel Utilization Efficiency, if I got it right. So the old ones didn't use the fuel enough. Now this new one, I'm pulling out my pointer because I want to show you a few things. Oh yeah, this one has a leak. That could be cured. But I'm going down here. Inside there is the draft inducing fan, which takes as much of the utilization that they've gotten out of the burner system in there and exits it. By the way, don't touch it because that gets really hot. Hence again, that's an 80% AFUE. Now, what's this conglomeration? Well, there's dual zones, 90% AFUE units. By the way, they even get these things up to 98.5. Wow, that's pretty good. They are so efficient that they can use plastic. They don't get that hot. This one probably is the air coming in, and that's the exhaust going out. You can touch that. It doesn't get that hot. So, when you think about this, think about like cars, MPG, miles per gallon. Well, the AFUE is like what your heating system gets for efficiency. It's MPG. That makes sense? All right. There are problems that over time affect HVAC unit operations and other aspects of interior air. Proper maintenance, of these units is important. So let's take a look at some of these issues. All right, let's see this. Rust, deterioration, dirt, good old neglect. Now, there's something important here. Pay attention. That's probably an 80%er, I'm going to estimate. But look very closely. What happens with that moisture inside? Corrosion, condensation gives you carbon monoxide. If you see anything like this, get it fixed right away. Next one. Oh boy, I hope none of you folks have a crawl space like this. Old HVAC distribution, and they're corroding. No chance of mold down there. And by the way, no chance of mold spores getting sucked up into the system, huh? All right, we'll get more on this one. You're looking down at the evaporator coil of the HVAC system. Yeah, it's kind of dirty. We're going to talk about this a little more, so let's move on. All right, HVAC in crawl spaces. How did you know that was coming? All crawl spaces with HVAC, very important here, need proper vapor barriers. Like mine's got concrete and underneath there's a 6 mil vapor barrier. That's what the new codes are. Crawl spaces need to be insulated and properly. They're not so bad, crawl spaces, but in this industry there's a lot of buts. Yeah, no proper vapor barrier, and that's mold, folks. Forget about that for right now. Let's look at this. Now, I know you might have watched one on attics, and again, this applies. Does anybody ever read what that says? I don't think so. This states this paper facing is supposed to be up to the warm side of the floor, not to the cold in the vented crawl space, which gets a lot of moisture, and guess what's growing? Let's go a little further with this. This is the return air vent. It's under negative pressure. See these cleats? They join all the segments. Gee, you think they're sealed tight? I don't think so. So, what's the chances of mold spores going like the sound effects and into there and going into your system? I think you get it. Okay, about those other aspects of air. Let's talk about that. All right. Infiltrating air is a segue for microbials. Let's look at this. And I'll zoom in on what I really want to tell you. I'm going to guess this is an 80%er. And so let's zoom in on that area. All right, here it comes. Now, this green doodad is called an anemometer. And an anemometer, that's a tough one to say, measures airflow. This is in cubic feet. This is the floor drain, okay? Down below here somewhere is what's called the P-trap. You know, it's shaped like so. Well, there's a line across that which just captures the air that could backflow from the sewer. It's known as a weir, W-E-I-R in plumbing terms. It can get bounced out of there from air pressures or evaporation. This one, I don't know, but all I can tell you, it's sucking out of there 117 cubic feet of air. Gee, what do you think might be growing down there besides sewer gas? Well, let's look at this one. Look, I'm sure I'm going to comment on it, but new codes say these must be vapor tight, gas tight, seal tight covers. This is a sump pump well cover. Guess what? They left this open. Let's look a little closer with guess what? The anemometer. Woohoo! This one's sucking out of there 227 cubic feet per minute. Now I'm going to explain something. This grommet should be down in there and sealed tight. Okay, it is not. Now, think about this. There's pipes down there. Mold can use, besides cellulose, anything from a tree all over down to paper, it can use carbon as a aspect for growing on. So there's a lot of carbon down there. There's a lot of moisture and it's dark. Guess what's coming out of there into your house via the stack effect? It gets sucked out of there and just follows its way up through your house. Other aspects, the do's and don'ts. It's about your health, folks. Saving you some dollars. So let's look at this. Oh, this is ingenious. This is down in crawl spaces, you can see. They decided, well, let's put a little funnel there and drain it out. Oh, no chance mold's going to grow down there, right? All right, let's go a little further. Talking about things that'll benefit you. This here is a fiberglass filter. Trust me, they're worthless. Don't use them. Okay, I'm going to show you what you should be using. Yeah, ready? By the way, I pulled this thing out so you could see what we're going to talk about. But they got to have tight-fitting covers. That's very important. This is a pleated filter. They rate these by MERV. I forgot what it actually means, M-E-R-V. Something about ventilation. But you got to understand this about those MERVs. This is the return, and the blower is in here. You have to check with your HVAC tech to see how much restriction you can be allowed to put against that blower. If you go too much, you can burn it out. So you want to check with them. This one I'm going to guess is probably a 10, okay? And I think that works very well. But keep in mind, be sure that your HVAC tech says that's okay to use. All right, let's get back to this dirt inside the HVAC system. Again. That is the evaporator coil inside the plenum of the air conditioning unit. All right, it gets dirty. Let's move on. Now, all right, I'm taking a little break from that and go, this can't be HVAC. No, it's not. It's another aspect of air movement. Okay, let's look at this together. That's the fan, bathroom below it. Okay, you're taking a nice long hot shower like I like to. And guess what? It's blowing this air out. And where's it going? With the moisture. It's going to condensate on this when it gets cold, and guess what's going to follow? Mold growth. These need to be vented to the roof, through the roof, with their own individual roof jack vents, with bird screens on them, by the way. All right, you're outside, and maybe you got a masonry chimney. If things are falling off or things are cracking, there's something wrong. Let's think about this. Mother Nature dropping loads of rain down there. Where do you think that rain is going? And what happens in the winter when it freezes? Bricks go pop, 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 pop. Not good. Look at those things. All right, let's get back to dirty HVAC systems. This is a floor register. If you open yours up and you see all this kind of junk in there, come on, folks, get it cleaned out. Get a reputable air duct cleaning company to come out there and clean that stuff out. That's not healthy, right? Okay, now we're getting near the end, by the way. This is the return side of the HVAC system. They call these interstitial return vents. In other words, this is the pocket for the return air. They utilize a 4-joist pocket, and if there goes up, there's a wall. They use a stud wall pocket. By the way, new codes do not allow this anymore. It's got to be in a solid conduit. What's more important, and take this as advice, if you've got this kind of system in your house and you can get to these things, you want to cover them with UL 181 foil tape. Don't use duct tape. That's not right stuff. Cover every joint, both on supply and returns that you can. The reason is why you want to get back down to only losing 3%, right? Saves you money. Okay, so let's close with this. All right, I want to read this. If you want to read some good information about HVAC and other aspects of airflow, then check out this PDF. You got time, you can stop the video, you can write it down, Google it, whatever. You should be able to get there. That's some good information. In closing, okay, if you got to this, to the website, then just add Kevin at in front of that. You can email me. Now, if you don't want to email me, well, guess what? There's the number. Text me, voicemail me, call me. Hey, I'm glad to answer any questions. Thanks for watching.